The last time I spoke with my friends, the first thing they brought up was P. Diddy molesting and sexually assaulting tons of rappers and artists like Meek Mill.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Every time I log on to crypto Twitter, my feed is filled with nothing but a bunch of people arguing and fighting about stuff like Normilio and how ugly the NFTs are and whether or not they should be part of Vermilia and threats to end the career of Cyberprince. Just last week, the biggest thing on CT, the biggest thing in the space, was some kid dancing on stage at a dog with hat party, a dog with hat rave.
You can't even see me cause you can't snap a mirror. Me and my bro so real, I don't know a theater. You don't care, or you can't pretend to even feel her.
And that kid somehow managed to send the market cap of Dog with Hat from $3 billion to $4.3 billion over a span of 3 days. Not by coding, but by being a fucking idiot on stage, having a little bit of fun, and getting a lot of attention. Hi, my name is Andrew. I am the host of the XRP podcast. I'm going to be showing you today everything you really need to know about trading meme coins. The focus of this video isn't going to be surrounding the tools necessary to do so, because that's just going to be like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes of this video. Where the focus really is going to be is on how to actually spot top quality gems and what to look for in order to differentiate a top quality meme coin from just 99% of the garbage that you see popping up on Dexscreener, 99% of the garbage that you see being spewed out on the blockchain every single day. Do you remember when Kim Kardashian broke the internet by photoshopping herself nude and slapping it on a magazine cover? And then everybody from the highest media platforms to your coworkers in your office or fast food job just had to share their opinion and their memes surrounding the controversy. And yet somehow, she didn't get canceled. Instead, she became much more richer and much more famous as a result of all this attention. All the events I just mentioned are not necessarily morally good, but they do have one thing in common. It gets people talking and it gets people's attention. Since there is a surplus of information, with more information flowing through our society than any of us could hope to ever fully process or understand, since there's an abundance of shitcoins, way too many for any of us to individually go through Dexscreener and search deep into the trenches for one by one in order to find the one, we must understand that the new bottleneck on our economy and on your gains in the crypto industry is attention. We live now, currently, and for the next few years until the next industrial age, we live in an attention-based economy. And if you want to get rich from crypto, it's imperative that you understand this, because the understanding of this could be the difference between you making it today and you making it 10 years from now with XRP. Attention economics is all about information, culture, and communities, and how these three factors influence the minds and the conversations of the general population. Social networks are in the business model of the attention economy. I need you to get that. They are wholly dependent on eyeballs and clicks to make all of their revenue. To do this, they design algorithms that show you the most interesting and attention-grabbing information available in your social network. This is why great meme coins like the Bitcoin community use attractive naked women in their advertisement.
Imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom!
This is why the Bitcoin developers do stuff like crypto boxing events with BitBoy and all types of ludicrous crap that has nothing to actually do with crypto or their meme coin, because they know as long as they get your attention, it will sell their token. Meme coins serve as a vehicle to democratize attention so that any individual across the world can profit off of the attention of the general public. This is why culture, information, community, and these three factors, which come together to make up the attention economy, are the most important things in a speculative market, in the crypto market. Because even utility tokens are subject to the laws of an attention economy. This is why the higher the price of a token goes, the more likely you are to see it within your feed on Twitter or 4chan or Facebook or wherever you go to talk about crypto and meme coins. All this conversation grabs the attention of other people who also want to make money and start bull posting and talk about how much money they just made, which drives the price of the token higher and higher and produces that self-fulfilling flywheel effect. So long as it gets attention, whether it's love or hate, so long as it elicits extreme emotions from people and can keep their attention, the token will 99% of the time go up in value. This is why people like Kim Kardashian make more money for public appearances than Nobel Prize winners. This is why shitcoins like Pepe, Dog with Hat, Popcat, Apu, Doge, whatever you want to call it, all have a much higher market cap than whatever utility token that is bringing the world's greatest technology that the world has ever seen. All that crap doesn't matter. It is irrelevant. And if you really want to make a lot of money trading meme coins, you need to identify who and what tokens and NFTs have the attention of the greater community and who can sustain that attention for long-term periods of time or has set in place the tools and people necessary to do so.
Be connected! Be connected!
This is the only utility that matters in a meme coin, in a cryptocurrency, is if it can make the price go up and how long it can make the price go up for, so it can gather more people's attention, who will inevitably make the price go up again as a result of that flywheel effect. So I'm giving you all of this to make you understand my methodology is not to trade tokens, but to trade human attention. Now, knowing all of that, what tools do we actually need to trade attention? So in terms of the tools that I use, honestly, I just try to keep it simple. What I like to use is obviously MetaMask as well as Phantom. Those just allow me to trade on nearly every chain besides the Cosmos EVM chains. If you want to trade on Cosmos, you can. I suggest getting Leap Wallet or Kepler. The reason why I say MetaMask and Phantom is because those cover the most popular chains. If you don't like MetaMask, then you can also use something like Rabby as well or Zerion. Those are very good apps and they have a lot of security features to prevent you from getting your wallet drained. Just make sure you're paying attention when you're signing transactions. That way you know what you're actually agreeing to do. But besides that, all I use is Dexscreener. I like to use Dexscreener so that I can look at things like the liquidity of the token, as well as the current market cap, as well as the fully diluted value, in case there are any tokens that are locked for a certain period of time before getting released. But in terms of market cap, what I like to look for when I'm searching for meme coins is generally I want something that is honestly 1 million market cap max. Usually I even like to go lower than 1 million. I like to ape tokens that are around the 500K and lower market cap range. But if I think it's a really good meme coin, like Normilio, for instance, let's look at Normilio. If I think it's a really good meme coin like Normilio, then I am willing to buy a little higher. With Normilio, I started placing my bids at 3-4 million market cap. Currently, it's sitting at 11 million market cap after rushing back up to like 17 million market cap over the past 2-3 days. With Normilio, as you can see, the liquidity is pretty high for the level that it's sitting at. You want thicker liquidity because then when there is a lot of volatility going on, when there's a lot of trading activity going on, the price won't shoot up as dramatically. I know a lot of people prefer their meme coins to have lower liquidity because then less money is needed in order to push the price of the token up. But I don't like to do rapid fire trading. I told you with meme coins, I like to invest in long-term memes that I think are going to run up to 100 million or 500 million or 1 billion market cap. It's the same strategy that I use for utility tokens. I'm just applying it to meme coins instead. I find one thing that is essential to look at is stuff like the top holders. Because if you look at the top holders, then you can really get an idea on who holds what percentage of the token. You generally want to go for a meme coin where at least 70% of the token supply is being held by majority of the token holders. You don't want to be in a meme coin where one of the top 10, one of the top 50 holders holds like 20, 30, even 50% of the supply. Typically, that indicates that it's a liquidity provider if they are one of the higher percentage holders at the top. But besides that, as you can see, most people in the top 10 own 3%, 2%, 2%, 1%. This is a very safe distribution. You want to see something similar to this, where 70% or more of the token supply is being held by the majority of holders. Another thing you want to look for is the holder count in your meme coins as well. So if you look at Base, for example, this token's called Brian Armstrong Coinbase USDC 2012 Normie. The ticker is Base. As you can see, the market cap is sitting at a valuation of 1.3 million. However, the holder count is sitting at over 2.3 thousand. This is just a little above a 2x from the holder count of Normilio, because as you can see, Normilio has a 4,000 token holder supply. I generally find that if your token has a low market cap, but the holder supply is very high, then that's a great indicator that this is a token that can have some long-term staying power, since there are a lot of people vested in the token and the holder count is only going up as time goes on. If you find that the holder count is rising and yet the market cap is staying roughly the same, that means that's a great opportunity for you to get in and make a lot of profit potentially once those holders do start pushing and shilling and marketing the meme coin. With something like Brian Armstrong, for example, I got in around 300K and currently it's sitting at 1.3 million. If it's anything like some of the other tokens that we've seen on Solana or we've seen on Ethereum, you can easily expect that any solid meme coin can at least hit something like 50 million or 100 million. During the Solana meme coin season back in the winter time of last year, I remember just absolute garbage was just running up to 30 million, 50 million, 100 million all at once. If you have influencers like Ansem as well, Ansem is a very big influencer on crypto Twitter. He can take meme coins like Keyboard Cat, for example, and he literally pumped Keyboard Cat solo from a market cap of, initial market cap of sub 250K, and now it's sitting at 70 million. Just a couple days ago, Keyboard Cat was actually sitting at a market cap of 100 million. So this is a token that you can expect to see in the billions very shortly in the coming weeks or months. Another token that Ansem likes to push right now, it's actually one that he requested the community make, is a token called Perp. I'm invested in this token Perp as well. I think it's a great opportunity and it's a very strong asynchronous bet, since Perp is a token that Ansem also pushes. The big problem with Perp here, though, is Perp is on a layer 3 called Degen chain. And in order to get on Degen chain, you have to first bridge your tokens to base network. And then after bridging to base network, you have to bridge it once more onto Degen chain through the Degen chain bridge. You may not want to do that. So people who are willing to do that, I think they're getting in very early on a very good opportunity. Like I said, just like Keyboard Cat, Perp is another token that Ansem actively pushes. And I believe that he's waiting simply for the attention cycle to head towards Degen chain once more infrastructure has been built and you can bridge over to Degen chain very easily. Another reason why I believe Perp on Degen chain is a very good bet is because right now, in order to withdraw, there's a 7-day waiting period. So only people who are really comfortable with not seeing their gains immediately, putting money in that they don't need immediately are investing in tokens like perp on degen chain right now. So if you don't mind waiting a little longer, if you don't really need your money like that, then that could be a very good opportunity for you. I keep talking about influencers, and I find that influencers are great center points for shilling these tokens for you since they already have a large following. Like I said, you really want to be in tokens that have a natural and already strong community behind them that are already used to being online and marketing these tokens in the crypto space. A lot of the influencers that I referred to, they are on Twitter. Twitter is one of my favorite tools to use for shitcoining because what I like to do is I like to go to an influencer, for example, Ansem. I like to go to the accounts of influencers. I like to see who they're following. Who's following an influencer is really irrelevant. You really don't need to care about that. That's just the size of their targeted audience. That's why I'm saying an influencer is so important. But why I say I check who the influencer is following is because this is where you can get a lot of your alpha. This is where you can find a lot of really good meme coins. Because if you go through them one by one, you'll notice that sometimes they follow really, really obscure accounts that have only like a couple hundred followers. So it's very interesting to see why huge accounts like Ansem, like Art School Reject, like Squigs would follow an account with just 2.9K followers. Another thing you can do with these smaller accounts is I heavily encourage you to just scroll down. Keep scrolling down and read literally all their tweets because often you'll find that these small accounts, they're run by very intelligent, very wealthy people. And it's simply a matter of them not having the audience on Twitter because that's not their primary focus. But in their posts, they drop lots of alpha. They talk about the coins that they're bidding, and they can be great sources of information and opportunity for you. My whole trick with meme coins here is all about social finance. It's all about community and it's all about culture. It's all about engaging with other people. So for example, this person who calls himself Tuna Swim and Sea, he's a developer of a trading bot that is on Ethereum, Blast, and Arbitrum and Base. However, he doesn't have a very large follow account. He only has about just under 1,000 followers. What I like to do again in order to verify their credibility is I like to see who I already know that's credible, that's following them, because that essentially provides social proof. That helps you weed out the irrelevant accounts from the relevant ones. So I can see that a lot of people who I know who are in the industry, who do this full time and who are very wise, follow Tuna. And because of that, I view him as someone who potentially has a lot of alpha for me. So what I do is I go through his tweets one by one. He's actually the person who shilled perp to me at about 300K market cap. And I love this guy's tweets so much, but unfortunately, he simply doesn't get a lot of attention. It's these small accounts you really need to target as opposed to swimming through the endless sea of new pairs on Dexscreener. No matter how you really set your filters on Dexscreener, I find that's only good for rapid fire trading, which is what something like Sahad does. But I'm someone who doesn't like to rapid fire trade because I don't think I'm sick like that. And I'm a busy guy. I have a lot of things to do. I'd rather just park my money in something I know that's not gonna rug me most likely, and then just leave it to do its thing. In summary, what I like to do is I like to use tools like Twitter. I like to use tools like 4chan as well. I like to use tools like Telegram. I like to use tools like Discord in order to find people who are credible, but don't necessarily have a large following. And then I go through their posts and I learn the knowledge that they are sharing, but I also search up the tokens that they are bidding and I search up the reasons why. Another tool that I really like to use for shitcoining as well is Telegram. So through Telegram, what I like to do is I generally like to go into the Telegram groups or the Discords of these tokens. If you look at something like Base, for example, so the token I was talking about earlier, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase USDC 2012 Normie, 2012 Normie, Base. As you can see, a lot of the token holders are also in the Telegram group, which means a lot of the token holders are unique individuals. It's not just multiple people holding the token in multiple accounts. I also just like shit posting with the boys, to be honest. It's just a lot of fun too. But what I like to do in the Telegram groups is I like to click the group name. And when I click the group name, the next thing I like to do is cycle through the members. This is what I mean when I say you should look for specific communities in these groups that are holding these tokens. I know a lot of you are newer to the game, but if you look at Base, the whole reason why it tipped me off right away is due to the art style of the token. As you can see, when you look at the art style of the Base token on Twitter, for example, you can see that it's in a very cute cartoonish style. This is the typical style of the Milady NFTs. So this right here tips me off that this is a token that is trying to appeal to a specific community, the Milady community. And the reason they do that is because the Milady community is very engaged and active in the crypto space. They have a lot of income, so they can really push the token. And they have a lot of supporters. So even if their supporters don't have income, they can be used to serve and deliver that network effect and shield the token naturally just by talking and engaging with others online regarding the token. As you can see as well with Base, when I go onto their Twitter page, as you can see as well, there are several people who I follow and who I think are very, very wise individuals that are already following them. But if we go back to the Telegram group, one thing I like to do is just scroll through. And when I scroll through, there's a couple specific things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the types of profile pictures that people are using, and I'm also looking to see what they have in their bio. All right. Often you'll find that people with a lot of money in these NFTs, they want to use these NFTs in order to flex their social status. Because when you have something like a Milady, when you have something like a CryptoPunk, so this is a Milady, for example, boom, right there, that indicates that you are a high status individual in the crypto space. And high status individuals generally like to convene and flock together. So you want to see a large percentage of these Milady NFTs, or you want to see a large percentage of those CryptoPunk NFTs, or you want to see a large percentage of those MFer NFTs, stuff like that. Another reason why I like looking at these individuals in these Telegram groups as well, let me just pull up another individual that I think has a bit of money. See, this guy, he's running a Bored Ape NFT. And say what you want to say about Bored Apes. I'm not going to comment on whether it's a good NFT or not. But when somebody is rocking a Bored Ape, again, that's another indicator that they have money. The additional reason that I like to look into the Telegram groups for individual members is because I can also look at these similar groups that they are in. So I can see what kind of general mind space, what type of general social network that they are in. And if they are in a lot of groups that I'm already in that are reputable, then it makes me feel a lot more comfortable putting my money in that token. So as you can see, this person with the Bored Ape, not only are they in the Base ticker group, they're also in the Normilio group as well, another token that I love. So I realize they're part of the same community, which makes me very comfortable. Not only that, I can see that they're actively online and they're actively engaging in the community, which is something that you really want to value as well. Because remember, all these meme coins, they're irrelevant without a social presence. They need to have a social presence on some form of platform, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Telegram, whether it's Discord, whether it's 4chan, whether it's YouTube, because people need to see it. Otherwise, people can't buy it. People can't buy what they don't know exists. You can build it, but if people don't know you built it, then where are they supposed to go? They don't know the address. They don't know the ticker. You get me? So again, this is another Milady NFT, and they're rocking the Vipers as well. So not only does this tell me that they're a Milady, that also tells me that there's someone who's also invested in MOG, another token that is currently sitting at a market cap of 200 million, but just a couple. Yeah, currently sitting at a market cap of 200 million, but peaked at a market cap of about 500 million. All right. So again, you want to invest and you want to congregate and you want to converse with communities that have individuals that already have good networks or good social circles, because then you can really generate value from associating with them. This is what I mean by I invest in human culture and I invest in human attention as opposed to investing in meme coins. I'm not too concerned about the meme because so long as the meme is generally good, something like Mog, it's funny and you can make a lot of things. Something like Brian Armstrong, again, it's funny and you can make a lot of things. You can get creative with it. So I'm not too worried about the meme. My primary focus with these meme coins is, first of all, I just want to make sure that the liquidity is decent. All right. As long as the liquidity is at least 1/10 of the market cap, generally that's decent enough for most meme coins. Besides that, I also want to look at the holder count. If it's a very low market cap and yet it has a lot of holders, again, that's an excellent indicator that it's a safe bid, and it's an excellent indicator that it's going to get pushed in some form of social network. After looking at those two factors, the next thing that I want to look at is the way that the token supply is spread out amongst the holders. You want to make sure that the top holders don't have too much of the token. And yes, the top holders can easily spread their tokens amongst multiple wallets, but honestly, you'll find in the crypto space, people are very lazy and most people won't bother to do that. So it's using social networking. That's how I generate value from meme coins. Beyond that, it's as simple as just making sure the contract is in a honeypot. You can do that very easily by just scrolling down and looking at these Go security things. Sometimes these little warnings aren't fully accurate. However, sometimes it can be very buggy. So a website that you can use is Token Sniffer. I think Sahad has talked about this before. Token Sniffer, it's a website for checking token contracts, making sure there's no built-in honeypots or rug pulls. So with Token Sniffer, it's really just as simple as copy and pasting the contract address and then entering it into the website. Token Sniffer works for base tokens now. So it works for base tokens, it works for any Ethereum network token, and I believe it works for Solana tokens as well. So if you're ever concerned because you see these little prompts on the side right here that says there's a security issue, you can just look in Token Sniffer, quickly paste the contract address, and it'll tell you the truth right away. Right here, it says excessive amount of the liquidity was burned, 100% was burned. That just means that they won't rug you. So again, it has a perfect score. This is what you want to see. You want to see a score of about 90 or higher. But besides that, I honestly don't use any of the wallet tracking tools. I just don't feel it's necessary for the type of trading that I do, and I haven't had a real need for it yet. You can use a trading bot as well. One reason I find a lot of people like to use the trading bots is if they are trading large amounts at once. So let's say you're trying to make a $30,000 bid on Brian Armstrong Coinbase. Then typically a MEV bot, a maximum extractable value bot. So basically a bot that is constantly monitoring the token's transactions, waits to see if anybody is making considerable sized bids. And when they see that on the blockchain network, they then place a transaction with a very high gas fee in order to front run your transaction. And then they basically use you in order to make money off of you through a quick arbitrage. So you just need to watch out for that. So if you're going to be trading large amounts at once, like $30,000, that's when I would say maybe you want to use a trading bot instead. Another reason why using a trading bot is so good is because then you can actively watch your P&L, because a trading bot will show you your active profit and loss on the trade, as well as your initial investment and the price that you got in at initially. If you do want to use a trading bot, like I suggested, Alfred is a very good trading bot. So is something like BonkBot. So is something like Tornado Swap. So is something like Shuriken. Again, I don't use trading bots. I'm not really interested in using them. Maybe in the future, but for now, I don't use that. I'm just trying to give you my strategy. I think Sahad does share how to use a trading bot himself. So if you are interested in that, you can do that. Beyond that, yeah, it's really that simple. Rather than scrolling through new pairs and trying to do rapid fire trades, I would rather trade something that's stuck around for a couple days, couple weeks, because I'm comfortable and I feel safe knowing that they're going to be looking a little more long term and they're not going to rug you immediately. You want to be active and constantly cycling through the various discords and telegrams for your tokens, just so you can make sure that everything is fine and dandy inside there, just so you can see what the developers and the community is up to, see if people are actively building, see if people are talking in there. If the price of the token is down and in the group chat, people are bull posting, people are just having nice conversations and sharing memes, again, that's a great indicator you have a strong community that is going to diamond hand your token to a very good value. I don't really look at much else. What I look at is I look at asynchronous opportunities. I just look at opportunities on tokens that are reputable, that have a strong community behind them, and tokens that don't have the attention necessarily yet. Another thing that I really love is looking at narratives. Something like Bowden, for example, it rushed up to 550 million right now. And I believe when Bowden started, you could start placing bids as little as, you can go deeper. I believe you could start placing bids as little as $30,000 market cap. So people did like a 20,000x on Bowden. But another good thing that I really like is tokens like Bowden because they follow really strong narratives. They're following the election. They're following the presidential campaign. And tokens like Bowden, they do very well because of that, because they're constantly being talked about naturally without the necessary push of the developers. And when events happen in the real world, the price of the token and speculation and the volume on the token increases because of that. And that's another thing you want to watch out for as well, is just the 24-hour volume of a token. Again, if you see that the volume on a token is high, like this, the volume on the token is much higher than the liquidity even. Again, that's an excellent example that even though it doesn't have the attention of the general crypto populace, people are still choosing to actively trade it, which means people are interested in the token. And again, that increases your chances of this token running up further in the future. So other narratives that I like besides the presidential narrative is the various narratives that you see on Twitter. You'll often find that a lot of influencers, they have entire narratives surrounding themselves. I really like to use Ansem as an example because this man can single-handedly pump a token from 30K, 300K market cap to 100 million to even a billion. I'm not joking. He's half the reason why Dog with Hat is so high today. But this gentleman right here, he's going to be hosting a boxing event on the 19th of April. And because of that, a lot of tokens that are related to him, so tokens that he has shilled in the past, people are placing bids and making positions in those tokens because of that. So if you are interested in bidding based on narrative, then you may want to get into Ansem related tokens if Ansem is your main narrative. If you're someone who's interested in a celebrity like Andrew Tate, then maybe you want to get into some of the various Andrew Tate tokens as well. I don't know how degenerate you're trying to get with your meme coining. So I'm just trying to show you every example possible. Look at this token, for example, Brokey on Solana. This token's sitting at a market cap of 19K and the liquidity is at a market cap of 16K. So it's very good liquidity for the market cap. And that means that if people were willing to ape, people would be more comfortable moving large amounts of money into this token because of the high liquidity ratio relative to the market cap. So this is just something you want to look for as well. Just keep in mind with these narrative-based tokens, there's always multiple. With a subject like Andrew Tate, for example, I could easily just write Andrew Tate on Dexscreener. And boom, you have other Andrew Tate tokens on Solana, on Base Network, even on HexChain, but nobody fucking trades on HexChain. Even this one, for example, it has a higher liquidity than the market cap. Again, you can't really be too sure which one traders are going to choose to pick to pump up. It's really just a matter of the market. So if you are going in these super minish caps, then you may be interested in doing what I said before, going through their telegrams as well as going through their Twitter spaces. Because if you go through their Twitter space, I like to use Twitter as my first indicator, because if their Twitter is like this, where they haven't posted since January 16th, I know right away It's a dead community, it's a dead coin, and I can ignore it. I don't have to put any money into it. But if I go to something like Brokey, for example, and I look at their Twitter, again, the last time the guys on Twitter for Brokey posted was April 1st, so it's not that good, but at least it's more recent than the other Brokey coin. And if I look at the Brokey Telegram, I'm already in the Brokey Telegram actually. So if I look in the Brokey Telegram, my next line is it just the buy bot in here or are people actively talking? Right now, it's primarily just a buy bot and people placing small bids because they want to gamble since the market cap is so considerably small. The reason they're doing that is because when you have a token that's sitting at, I know it's not 30K market cap right now, but when you have a token that's sitting at 30K market cap, you can very well cheat in like $100 or less. And when the market cap hits 300K, if it does, boom, you have $1,000. When the market cap hits 3 million, boom, you have $10,000. If the market cap hits 30 million, boom, you have $100,000. That's why I'm saying it's very important to prioritize tokens with as low of a market cap as possible, that also have a very strong narrative, that have a very positive and active community, because that's when you will get your best risk versus reward for that. And you won't have to wait nearly as long in order to really generate life-changing income. Other narratives that I like, aside from, Andrew Tate, who's a constant narrative, is something like things that are very controversial in the news. Remember, in crypto, everything is free game. There's no such thing as offending someone in crypto. That's why you'll see all those extremist meme coins talking about racism, talking about politics, talking about anti-Semitism. Everything is free game in crypto. For example, I'm sure people have heard about the Diddy case because P. Diddy has really been active diddling little boys here and there everywhere, as well as diddling big boys like Meek Mill. But with something like Diddy, for example, Diddy has several meme coins surrounding him as well. There's one like this called the Diddler, P. Diddler. And there's one here as well called P. Diddy. These two tokens, they both represent Diddy and they both follow the Diddy narrative. They're both around roughly similar market caps and both have pretty good liquidity, yet they have two very different styles. If you go on their Twitters, you can see that both Twitters are roughly pretty active, roughly. And as you can also see in the Diddler on Sol example, for instance, it's also being followed by reputable people who I trust who have a lot of money. Because of that, I'm going to place a little more importance into the Diddler, for instance. While if you look at P. Diddy, it's not really being followed by anybody that I know and trust. This is why I say it's essential that you network when it comes to crypto, because even your network can serve as a tool to verify and weed out the true gems from the dirt and the dust in the crypto industry. Because if you see that somebody you know is already following it, somebody you know who's intelligent, that can be a great indicator to park your money in there as well. But with something like P. Diddy, both of these meme coins, they're pretty active overall. These guys, they even posted 4 hours ago. So with something like these two Diddler tokens, here, let's actually go into the telegrams of both as well. Even in the Diddler Telegram, it has 290 members. 47 of them are online right now. And people are talking and posting GIFs because that shit is funny. Boom. People are memeing, people are spamming, people are having a good time. They're not really talking too much about the price action. They're just having a good laugh. This is a very good indicator. If you go through the Discord members as well, boom, you can see Milady derivatives in the group chat. And you can see what other tokens that they are in if you are in these groups as well. They're in Milady on Solana. They're in Dither. They're in the BonkBot and Shuriken Dojo chats. These are the chats for the Telegram bots that I was referring to earlier. But again, you get your social proof right there, which is amazing. And you can see that people are just chatting, having a good time in here, which is amazing as well, because it means that these guys aren't desperate to make money fast, which is exactly what you want in these meme coins, because you never know when they're going to run up. If we look at the P. Diddy on Sol chat, boom, they're actively raiding, which is amazing because it means they have an active and engaged community. And if they're successfully raiding, that's even better. Besides the raids, they're just having a good time, chatting, chatting, chatting. That's exactly what you want to see. Some of the Telegram groups, they are a little shisty and they will purposely block you from seeing who are the members of the group. If you do run into this, it's okay. That's where you would want to more so rely on Twitter and rely on scrolling up to literally the very beginning of these Telegram groups and see who's really in it. I know most people don't like to read. I know most people don't like to search, but I'm really trying to show you, I believe that this method is more worthy of your time in order to generate gains as opposed to trading new pairs. Because I see that both of these Diddy tokens are active and they have active communities that aren't too concerned about the price, and they have credible people with money in their Telegram groups, I may choose to bid both of these Diddy tokens because the token market caps are very minuscule. And even if I put in $100, even if I put in $1,000, I can generate significant, considerable wealth from doing so if either of them run. And even if they don't, I only lost a little bit of money. But if either of them do, I've changed my fortune considerably. As I was making this video, I found out that the developers of EarnFi, well, technically one of the developers rugged the token. There's a whole lot of controversy going on in there right now, and it's all dust, essentially. First of all, I'm very sorry if you got rugged by EarnFi. But the lesson here is the whole thesis behind EarnFi was that you would get passive Ethereum reflections for holding the token. And as the price of the token went up, then your passive reflections grew in accordance with that. The issue here is while that is interesting and it's great when there's a lot of reflections going on, as time passed on and the holder count grew, people were getting Ethereum reflections less frequently. Because of this, it lost a lot of the attention and mind space that EarnFi was actually thriving off of. And people lost their reason to talk about the token. So naturally, they moved on. And from that, that's where the depreciation in the price occurred. Unfortunately, one of the developers chose to get greedy and chose to scam the community instead of building and developing new vehicles to drive attention towards the token. But unfortunately, this is a prime example of what I'm referring to when I say attention is everything. And the moment you lose people's attention by not giving them a sustained reason to keep interacting and engaging with your token and talking about it with their friends, that is the moment your project dies off. I'm very sorry if any of you got hurt in the EarnFi rug, but we move on, we ball, and we make it all back. Remember, I said failure is inevitable on the path to success, and this is a great lesson for us to learn and grow from. Remember, Kim Kardashian is useless, but she gets paid millions every year. She's not smart. She's not like Einstein. She's not one of the brightest minds of our age, and yet she's one of the most paid individuals in our age because she understands what is the most scarce resource in the world today, and that is attention. Thank you so much for supporting the XRP podcast. I'm going to give you the actual skills and the relevant information to make sure you are successful in any type of market, in any type of industry, and in any venture or pursuit you take in your life, whether it is crypto or not. Please don't forget the 888 giveaway is still on, and anybody can win 8 prizes of $100 USD simply by filling out the form in the description. If you would like to support the podcast, you can check out the link for several free airdrops. You can also stake sync with code XRP and get 15% off, as well as enjoy that huge staking APY. If you would like to stake with Sync, you can use the link in the description. If you would like to set up a Zahao node, my Zahao node video is now live. So if you have an Evernode host, you will need a Zahao node going forward. So if you are interested in that, you can check out that video. If you don't want to set up a Zahao node, I also offer Zahao node services as well. And it's as simple as using the instructions on the screen and you'll be connected within 24 hours or less. If you want to generate real passive income, remember, you can build an Evernote host and start generating passive income today. There's very little attention on it. That's why in my last video, I said something like arbitrage attention as well. You guys are trying to arbitrage numbers, but you don't understand you can arbitrage concepts to make you even more money. I'm saying do these things that I'm doing because I am a live example of what you can accomplish when you learn the relevant information, when you focus your attention on useful information that can really generate you income instead of focusing your attention on whatever bullshit that pops up and gets 15 minutes of fame here today and is gone tomorrow. That is a guaranteed way to poverty, and that is a guaranteed method of letting other people capitalize on your attention. You are the individual. You are the master of your own world. Do not let me or any others define where your attention and your focus goes. No, generate the skills and the discipline necessary to focus your own attention and use your attention to make you millions. I appreciate you. I love you. Be well, be safe, take care. And don't forget, God bless you.